Why do I need to see the audience for 1 minute and 8 seconds? Hello, gents people, it's your boy Alex, and you are watching A Sharp Mind. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, where have you been? At least I hope you're thinking that. I hope you missed me because I missed you. So I haven't been posting anything K-pop related for a while, mainly for two reasons. The first of which being that I live in a third world country and I have third world internet, which is Jamaica. I'm from Jamaica, so I can say that. The internet is pretty terrible. I don't, at least the one I have. So to upload a 5-minute video takes 2 hours, as opposed to when I lived in the wonderful first world country of Japan with my fiber optics internet. I could upload a 5-minute video in like 30 seconds. And to get the equivalent of what I had in Japan here is like $10,000, and I'm paying that for internet. So that's the first reason. The other reason is far more fantastic, was that I was in a production of William Shakespeare's The Tempest that was put on by House of Arts and directed by Evan A. Walters, and it was such a thrilling experience. I had never done Shakespeare before. It was daunting at first, but once I got into it and started to understand the language, it was fantastic. Here are some pictures of me being Caliban. So yeah, I've been doing that, and because one of the main reasons I was unable to do videos whilst doing that was because I did a voice for the character that kind of put a strain on my throat. So I was hoarse for weeks on end. But now I am back. But however, it's gonna be a little different. I'll still hopefully do K-pop reaction. I'll do K-pop reaction videos, but I'm finally going to do something I've been wanting to do since the inception of my channel, which is to engage in discourse about things in pop culture, which I will be calling Pop Off. So hopefully I figured out how to put the graphic right there. So it's gonna be called Pop Off, which is basically where I rant, rave, and ramble on about problematic, outstanding, and fascinating things that happen in pop culture. Of course, with a bias towards K-pop, Korean culture, because Korean pop culture, because there's so much there that I love and enjoy, particularly the music, in addition to the variety shows. I think the variety shows are fantastic. I wish Jamaica would take a page out of their book. Alright, so the first thing, so how Pop Up will work is basically, as I said, I'll be discussing things that happens in pop culture. I'll also have different segments. 2 segments I've come up so far with, which you'll see later on in this video, are Wallpaper of the Week, which is basically me showing you the wallpaper I have on my phone for the week. I don't know why I'm doing that, but the thing is, I love having fascinating wallpapers. They're usually of K-pop idols on my phone, and there's a group I am in on Facebook where we share those pictures, and I feel like I want to share with the world to say this one is on my phone screen. So just in case you want to have the wonderful picture too. And I'll also be having Panda Replay, which is basically the song I'm currently obsessed with that is constantly on replay. So Panda Replay, of course, taken from the Queen, well, the princess, you know, Beyonce the Queen, Rihanna is the princess. Title track of her long time album, Panda Replay. So without further ado, let's get into what this video is about. So, like rest of the army, and I'm pretty sure other K-pop fandoms, because I'm like a hoe. I'm all over the place. I'm Universe, I'm XOL, I'm Army, I'm Carrot, I'm all these things and more. So anyway, like most of the army, I was freaking out when I found out that BTS would be performing on the Billboard Music Awards. So I'm like, yes! Especially because it's something they wanted to do and was disappointed that they were unable to do last year. So when I found out they were going to be performing, I was just like, yes, bitch, yes. So when I watched the performance, of course I was all excited, but I was sorely disappointed, as were a lot of other fans. With the camera angles. It's funny because we have an ongoing joke here in the K-pop world where we constantly complain about the camera angles on K-pop music shows. So for those of you who don't know how it works, when an idol comes back with a song, they have various music shows on which they go and promote that song, and they can vie for being #1 on that particular music show and get an award. And you often complained about the terrible camera angles that happen on that show, but damn, when you take that in comparison to the shit we got on the BBMAs, we're like, oh my gosh, Music Core, thank you. Like, Inkagaya, thank you. It was terrible. Mostly because, and as beautiful as the fans are or were, it featured too many shots of the audience, like way too much. So I was so pissed off, I decided to do the math. And if you know me, I hate math. Okay, so the fact that I wanted to do the math means I was really pissed off. So based on my math, the BTS performance was 4 minutes and 19 seconds, and 26% of that performance was interjected with shots of the audience. 26%. Now you tell me. And that translates into minutes as 1 minute and 8 seconds.
What?
No, you tell me. Why do I need to see the audience for 1 minute and 8 seconds? No, you tell me. What kind of nonsense is that? No, seriously. No, I'm seriously pissed off. And as many armies have expressed their anger beneath the Billboard post about, like, that's bullcrap. That I need to see the audience. Also for 4 minutes and 19 seconds performance, I need to see the audience for 1 minute and 8 seconds. So how I got a percentage, just in case I didn't do the math correctly, you can all correct me whether I said the math, was the performance was 4 minutes and 19 seconds. I converted that into complete seconds, which was 259 seconds. I then went and manually cut out the sections of the audience and combined. That came up to 1 minute 8 seconds, 1 minute and 8 seconds, and in total seconds 68 seconds. And of course, then I divided 68 by the total number of seconds times by 100. That's about a percentage of 26% of the performance was audience, and that's unacceptable. But then I thought to myself, why is it that they did this shit to BTS? I'm sorry, I said shit. I said it again, but it's the BTS. Especially in comparison to AMAs, which also had some wonky camera angles where they were showing the audience way too much, and it wasn't cute. So I decided to do some more math on other performances and make a comparison to see if perhaps BTS was treated unfairly. And based on this wonderful graphic you'll see here, which I hope will come up, which I'll figure out to put up. As you can see, BTS wasn't the only one who had a high percentage of audience footage interjected, or shots of the audience interjected throughout their performance. As you can see here, Kelly Clarkson's intro performance, which was 3 minutes and 52 seconds, had a percentage of 37 audience shots of the audience interjected throughout the performance. Let me explain the graphic a bit. As you'll see, the artist there, the length of the performance in seconds, the audience screen time in seconds, and if it, for whatever reason, goes over to minutes, it's there, so in minutes, and then the actual artist's screen time in minutes, and of course the audience percentage in minutes. So as you can see, Kelly Clarkson's intro, which is where she did the medley of various songs, also had a high percentage of audience screen time. So is that to say that BTS wasn't treated unfairly? Hold a second. I think there's more to be said, because, okay, think about it this way. Kelly Clarkson's performance was a medley of other people's songs, and not to take anything away from it, or any artistic value that is any less artistically valuable or entertainingly valuable. And I'm pretty sure she worked hard, and there was a spectacle of performance behind her who were unable to be showcased because, for whatever reason, they found it appropriate to be showing the audience reaction constantly. But I feel and speaking from an army who's enraged by the terrible shots, I feel it's a lot more for the BTS, simply because for several reasons. One of which being the fact that it was the first time they're premiering this show on the television. So it's a premiere, right? We've heard those songs before, even though we've never seen this particular performance from Kelly Clarkson. But at the same time, I don't know, I feel a way. Even though this particular statistical information or mathematical workout shows that, okay, clearly they weren't the only ones who were shafted, I still feel a bit though, because it was their debut performance of Fake Love, and we our first time being able to see the choreography, and the choreography was, we didn't get to see it because we were always seeing as Fake Love, which was nice, because don't get me wrong, there is a value to seeing K-pop, to seeing reactions, clearly, as you've seen across the internet, that reaction videos go viral. Simply because it's always nice to see people reacting to the thing you love. But in that context, it's more often than not, you're watching people react to something you've already consumed fully. So you've already had an uninterrupted consumption of this particular thing. So there was no takeaway or distractions. So I feel it's different in that sense. So what I think, I mean, it's nice to see people reacting to what you love. At the same time, I'm just like, come on, can we just focus on BTS? Can we just focus on BTS? But yeah, so also, if you also look at this other chart I prepared, you'll see that even though, like for instance, if you were to compare to Normani's performance, another one of the stellar, outstanding performances of the night, like Normani, who did that shit. Her entire performance with Khalid was 3 minutes and 2 seconds, and the percentage of audience time was 2%. Which was translated for seconds, only 4 seconds of audience. Now, I think that's a good showing of 4 seconds. But as you can see, her overall screen time of the entire performance was 2 minutes and 58 seconds, which is less than BTS's overall performance on the screen, which is 3 minutes and 9 seconds. I don't know what that says. I don't know if that makes a difference. I'm just saying. So they still had overall in fact, if you were to compare their overall ranking for the amount of screen time they got, in comparison, they rank on my list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, let me quickly explain the performances I broke down as shown in this chart. I used 9 performances, which is half of the performances that took place, mainly because those are the performances I could find. I couldn't find the others, so I basically took them and manually took out the shots of the audience and then broke that down and did the calculation to see how often the audience was shown, and for how, not how often rather, but for how long they were shown. Yeah, so that's how I did that. I also, as you'll see, the highlighted performances are the ones that were heavily choreographed, and the ones in italics were the ones that the highlight was basically the vocals and not necessarily the spectacle of people dancing on the stage that was happening. And as you can see from this chart, BTS ranks 4th, and based on my calculation, 4th in overall screen time based on their performance. Which, you know, I guess in comparison, if you want to compare it, it's not that bad, but at the same time, the army in me still can't help but feel hurt. And I know y'all can be. So, I don't know, at the end of this working out, there are a couple of things I realized. That clearly I have nothing to do, hence doing this. And that I guess they may not have been treated unfairly. But I mean, look at J-Lo's performance. J-Lo's performance was 4 minutes and 24 seconds. And there was 1 second shot, 1 second of the audience. Mind you, there were cutaways to Khalid, but the performance was J-Lo and Khalid, where he was just basically throwing money. So there were moments J-Lo wasn't being highlighted on stage, and the choreography that was happening there wasn't being highlighted. And it was on Khalid. But if he, DJ Khaled, but he's still a part of the performance because he's part of his song. So I don't take that as a distraction or from the main event. So she basically had a 0.0% of audience interjection, which I think is a wonderful thing. I want to see, oh, by the way, I love J-Lo. Shades of Blue, whoop, that's my thing. But yeah, so anyway, this is my findings. Take it for what you will and run with it. I'm not quite sure what I would be trying to say, but yeah, I felt that here's the takeaway. BBMAs, as you can see from my little chart here, based on 9 performances that happened on the night, clearly you're showing the audience way too much, whether it is for BTS or for any other artist. Like, damn, we ain't coming to see the audience. I guess everything I've said would become moot if BBMA was to say, well, to see the entire exclusive, to see the artist's entire performance, just buy tickets and come to the show. So I guess they're saying that exclusivity is reserved for all those who could afford to attend the show. So I guess that would make everything I'm saying null and void. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel a bit annoyed. Anyway. So maybe BTS performance, in comparison to all the performances, maybe they weren't treated that badly. I mean, as you can see from the first chart, clearly they're the second highest, the second, based on the 9 performances I have here. I'm not sure about the other, based on the 9 performances I have here, they are the second highest, they have the second highest percentage of audience footage interjected into the performance. Anyway, that's the end of my rant. So yeah, I'm a little pissed. I still think BBMAs, y'all need to do better. Y'all need to do better. I still think you did my boys dirty. But anyway, moving right along. So my wallpaper of the week are, one for my lock screen is this, which of course is, as you can see, is Jungkook. And I want to put this up for this particular week because more often than not, my selection for the wallpaper of the week or my wallpaper on my phone is pretty random. But this week I want to be put it up as a celebration for their comeback. And of course, this shot, as you can see, this shot is from their recent comeback pictures. Oh my god. As you can see, this shot is from their recent comeback pictures. So I wanted to, and of course my lock screen is this. There, that's my lock screen. So that is it for my wallpaper of the week. Now on to Pon the Replay. So Pon the Replay, which is the song I have constantly on the replay, is I would say the entire Love Yourself Tear album. But if I were to choose one song that's constantly on the replay, it is yeah, definitely. I love Anthem Man. It's really a toss up between Anthem Man and The Truth Untold. First of all, I was pleasantly surprised that the Steve Aoki track was a ballad of sorts. I was like, oh, look at you, you know, mixing it up and all that jazz. So that was a pleasant surprise, and I love Jungkook's vocal. As you can see, Jungkook has become my bias, which is a bad thing. Funny enough, when I first got introduced to BTS, which is through their Dope video, and when my selection of my bias was basically based on who I found most visually astounding, Jungkook was my first bias. But as I got more into Korean pop culture and more into the variety shows and more into their appearances on reality shows and so on and so forth, I fell in love with J-Hope. J-Hope's effervescent personality, and it was just amazing. He was just so bright, so bubbly, and just like a joy of the group for me. So he eventually became my bias. But then recently I watched Bon Voyage 2, and I don't know, Jungkook just came in on the lights and it's like, ah! Goodbye J-Hope. So now Jungkook has regained his status as my ultimate bias from BTS. But I still love J-Hope. J-Hope is still right there, followed by Jimmy. So that's my 1-2 3. J-Hope, Jungkook, J-Hope, Jimmy. The J is J. Anyway, so yes. So ultimately, I think I'm gonna pick Ample Man because I'm going to talk about Jungkook again. I love Jungkook's part in the breakdown where he goes, oh, let me play it. Hold up. Let me play it one time. Hold up. Let me play it for you. Hold up. Let me play it one time. Hold up. Let me. And I was just gonna skip the Jungkook part. Hey. This Jungkook. Come on, here's it. Anyway, I just love that part. It has a nice Caribbean feel to it where you can bubble. So yeah. But yeah, that's it. I think this is going to be a pretty long video, which definitely means it's going to take like 3 hours to upload. But bless me, it will eventually upload. So that's it for my video this week. Stay tuned for more Pop Off, which is basically, as I said, I'll be discussing pop culture with a leaning towards K-pop pop culture. So if you're interested in engaging in this discussion with me with all things that are problematic, outstanding, or fascinating about pop culture, stay tuned, subscribe, like, and share this video. And if you share my outrage for how badly BTS was treated. Well, no, it was treated badly, but for the overwhelming amount of audience shots that were interjected in the performance, please share this video. Until next time, stay calm, stay smart, stay sharp. Bye.